Technology and creative skills. Children in Akwa Ibom State take break from learning, share the experiences of an exciting adventure. National Council meeting on women addresses issues and gaps in their journey for emancipation. Healing the wounds of the past, United Nations House holds memorial for victims of bombing. Good to have you join us on this edition of The Correspondent. It promises to be interesting and educative as usual. I am Tessie Omeri. You're welcome. Let's begin with the world of children. Considering the demands of contemporary society, education experts say there is no better time than now to empower young people with relevant technological and creative skills. Acquiring skills early in life, they say, will complement academic knowledge to ensure a productive future. Little wonder then that some parents in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital, have chosen to engage their children in skills to maximize the long vacation. Ifoma Aikoji has details.
More people have come to agree that it is absolutely important for children to learn more than just academically. This is because they say the society is evolving and demanding more than just what the knowledge of mathematics and other subjects can offer. Little wonder then that the long vacation programs are swiftly shifting from the regular classroom lessons to activities that will add value to a child's future.
We have coding, okay, both for the scratch, the ones that have not done coding at all, and then for the advanced class. We also have the creatives, which involves graphic design, creative writing, and I think digital skills. And then we have public speaking and etiquette, okay, which is like a general class for all the children. Okay, so they do this and then they learn some basic etiquettes, that public speaking, things that will just help them in future to be more confident, to be bold,
to communicate and express themselves. And this is one of the important things in the class. So in this class, the public speaking class, we ensure that children are able to express themselves and they're able to share their ideas and their opinions, not necessarily looking out for the wrong, if they are wrong or if they are right. Yes, we would correct them, but we're not trying to let them shelve themselves or crawl back because they are scared of making mistakes. So in today's world, as long as you're a human being, you need to know how to express yourself, and speaking is fundamental.
Experts say to catch them young is more beneficial both to the children and the society.
Currently, I think the world is returning to skills. You understand. You can notice that many graduates cannot even secure government jobs. And the way they reason and think and live, government jobs might not sustain them. So even the children too are thinking skills.
It's going to play a huge role for them as they get to embrace ICT, design, tech, and the rest of it, and give them an edge in today's world.
From trainings on etiquette to public speaking, coding, graphics design, and other creative packages, these young ones describe the new trend of long vacations as super exciting.
I like my vacation. I'm very happy. Creative writing, I've learned graphic design. I'm making a story. The good thing about it, you have to do scratch. And scratch is also exciting. I did graphics designs. I didn't know how to do it before, but now they taught me very well and I know how to do it.
I now know how to write a story. I now know how to make a book.
I like public speaking, etiquette, and how to design on the computer.
I made a back cover of a book, Old on the Streets.
For little splendor truth, music is the way to go, she displays on her piano. Other music lovers hope to make some gain from their talent in the nearest future.
decided to come for music school to perfect my skills learning the set, because I'll make more money, of course, because I'll be invited to occasions and then I'll play for them and then I'll get cash.
To have a break from my studies, and I also need to perfect my skills, like in playing the violin. I came to the music school because I wanted to try something outside educational learning. I wanted to try something like music. I want to perfect my skills in guitar lessons. Also, I love the guitar so much. It makes me express myself more better.
So gone are the days when children were left to keep learning regular subjects. It's time to harness their talents by giving them skills.
Yes, Ifoma, skills acquisition is the latest currency and children are already developing interest in it. That's indeed a good development. Many thanks. The next report is on women development, gender-based violence, women political participation, women empowerment and campaign for peace and security were issues for deliberation at the just concluded National Council meeting on Women Affairs held in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital. The 21st edition was designed to address the twin challenges of building pathways to sustainable peace, security and economic recovery in the post-COVID-19 era. Correspondent Ngozi Silva Technical tells us more.
The 21st National Council meeting on Women Affairs came with a difference due to the numerous consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic. Also, the challenges of insecurity in the country informed the theme this year. Gender equality, a panacea for enduring security and sustainable economic recovery in the post-COVID-19 era. The 145 memoranda considered during the technical session revealed gray areas as delegates relate ugly experiences of women and the girl child at the peak of the pandemic.
30% of our girls and women aged between 15 and 49 reported to have experienced sexual abuse. The increase in gender-based violence during COVID-19 pandemic lockdowns has worsened the situation, threatening the lives and livelihoods of our women and girls.
The one that is even of more worrisome to us is the women who are actually dealing in drugs. We have arrested women who are selling cookies that our children buy, cookies in shops, at the supermarkets, cookies infused with cannabis, infused with raffinol.
During the COVID-19, a lot of males reported, especially aged between 10 and 15, of being abused annually in their communities.
Concerned about cases of gender-based violence reported by delegates, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, outlined some of the causes.
When some women open the missile in the mouth, God have mercy, I won't expatiate further. Another reason why there is gender violence is what I call naked but not ashamed. When you make your spouse to discover stories you have not told him, he believes that there are more you are hiding.
The causes of violence in the home is because there is no mutual understanding between the couples. These days we find out that the virtue that was there in those days is no longer there now. What values are we passing to our children?
And some delegates summed up the solution this way.
Number one solution, humble yourself as a wife. Humble yourself as a man. Experience have shown that you live longer in a less violent environment. You live healthier. You live happier. Then why violence?
The ministerial and policy session of the council deliberated on giving women their pride of place in the society.
Women are the stabilizing agents in the family. They raise the children, socialize, and bring them up to date on values and norms of the society and the peculiarities of the extended family.
Government at all levels to respond positively, not only to eliminate harmful practices against women and girls, but also to curb the rampage impact of COVID-19 pandemic and other gender-based violence.
It is very important that all of us unite together for the cause of higher gender equality, opportunities for women, so the whole country can benefit. And the talents that might be hidden out there, they can come to fruition.
You will also ask NAFDAC to give a special concession to women so that their product can be registered, so that we can have a product on the international shelf like other countries of the Federation.
A 19-point communique encapsulated the far-reaching decisions taken by delegates.
The purpose of this memorandum is to appraise Council on the need to set up sensitization and awareness creation for women to participate in politics.
9. Prioritizing activities to end all forms of violence against children, women, and other vulnerable groups. 10. Creation of special courts at federal and in all states to fast-track the prosecution of SGBV offenders and accelerate survivors' access to justice and assistance to survivors.
The general consensus is that if women are given more opportunities and enabling environment, their contribution to the economy will manifest in all sectors.
And still talking about issues of women and children, Ngozi Silva Technical is in the studio to discuss deliberations from the National Council, that is the meeting held in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital. Hello Ngozi, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
And we're glad to have you back from the deliberations. Now tell us, women are said to contribute 41% to the GDP and then more than 71% making up the teaching force. Some people argue that is not enough. What do you think can be done, to elevate women, let's say, let them reach that level, that is, we say, glass ceiling?
Well, some may argue that it is not enough because there is always room for improvement. They say at times that poverty has the face of women or a woman. The contribution of women to the GDP is notable because women engage in so many forms of businesses. In the working class too, women are there. Their contribution to the gross domestic product is very, very obvious. But with more enlightenment, more inclusion of women, especially in men-dominated fields, their contribution will be more and more pronounced, and it will indeed translate to more growth to the economy. So if women are given more enlightenment, more conducive environment, and more inclusion for them to veer in those areas that women, really venture into, the economy will grow more. That's my own view.
Okay, and indeed women are everywhere.
Of course.
Contributing to nation building, just like you and I doing our bit.
Of course.
Okay, now let's talk about from your report, the Minister of Women Affairs talked about having daycare centers in workplace. Do you think this will boost the economy?
Obviously it will.
Okay.
It will. You know why? The women make up a larger percent of Nigerian workforce. And a large number of these women are within the childbearing age. And women are so attached to their children.
Sure.
You cannot separate them from their children. If you make daycare center close to the woman who is working, and if she has that confidence that her child is secure and safe, she can just walk in, breastfeed, and come out. One, you are taking care of that child to ensuring that that child takes enough breastfeeding that is due to the child. Secondly, the woman will concentrate and pay more attention to her work instead of being absent-minded, distracted in one way or the other because she doesn't know how her child
state of her
yes.
Children. And if the child is just a stone throw away from her,
yes,
she's had the confidence.
Good.
Okay.
So in this way, the woman will be able to work and be able to concentrate more, and this will translate to growth to Nigerian economy. So obviously, that is why the minister canvassed that all establishments, agencies should queue into that initiative of establishing daycare center in all their offices.
Okay. With so many, empowerment programs by the federal government, we have so many of them, in fact, the names are just endless. Yet the women are still marginalized. Why do you think this is like that?
Well, let's say maybe women in Nigeria. This is because we are not there yet. Okay. Yes, from what they said, and I agree with them, we are not there yet. We are still making progress. A lot of empowerment programs already, it is reflecting on the rural women, especially those of them that got the empowerment. The evidence is there, but with more, we'll get to the level where we want to be. Okay. Women are engaged in agro businesses, petty businesses, and trading and other things. So if this continues and get to the right women that needs them.
Okay, now we're talking about the right women that should be reached.
Yes, okay. Yes. So when it is done, we'll get to where we tend to be.
Okay, so now tell us your take-home from the National Council meeting on women. What's your take-home from that event?
Well, the event was a very big one. Okay. And like the theme says, gender equality, panacea to security and sustainable. It is very, very important. About 123 memoranda were presented on the two sections, technical session and the ministerial policy session. Among the resolutions reached at the end of the meeting, it was raised that all tiers of government should come up with a kind of gender mainstreaming policy to ensure that gender mainstreaming and inclusion of women in all spheres, giving women the opportunity to thrive in all spheres. There shouldn't be restriction that women shouldn't be here or there. Okay. Again, it was discussed that the issue of girl-child education should be given serious attention, although not neglecting the boy child. Because it was said that if all attention is given to the female child and neglect the boy child, the society, will not be safe. Mm-hmm. So that is one. It also appealed that NAFDAC should be able to give a concession to women in registering their businesses as a way of reducing poverty and giving women leverage to thrive in their businesses. Okay. There were also many resolutions reached, and it was also called that there should be a special court at the federal and state levels to be able to fast-track the prosecution of offenders and perpetrators of sexual and gender-based violence. There were other issues, but from now, these are the few take-homes that I'm able to share with you.
Beautiful take-homes, I must say, and they are kind of mind-blowing for the women folk. If put into use, I tell you, the women will smile.
It also said that there should be more women in politics. 2023 is fast approaching. Okay. Women were called upon to support their own women. To support their fellow women. Okay. So when more women are placed in positions of trust and concession is given to them in terms of buying form and other things, the sky will just be a stepping stone, not the limit.
Okay, the sky will be our starting point. Thank you so much for that update from the Women Council meeting. We have learned a lot, and we're hoping for that subsequently, when we call upon you for you to give us more updates on the program, you will avail us.
Obviously, I will do that.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Up ahead, Memorial Day for victims of UN house bombing after a decade. Join us again.
Recently, both the President and Vice President demonstrated leadership by being among the first Nigerians to have the AstraZeneca vaccine administered to them on live TV for all in the country to see. Subsequently, many federal ministers, political leaders, and members of the Presidential COVID-19 Task Force have publicly taken the vaccine to follow in the footsteps of President Buhari and Vice President Oshibaja. To obtain it yourself, please go to the NPHCDA website. There is a link to click on in order to register and schedule your vaccination. In the meantime, please continue to wear face masks, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and observe social distancing. This message was brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Welcome back to the Correspondents. We refuse to be cowards by violence, remain defiant against terror, and recommit to supporting the Nigerian people to fulfill their dream of prosperity, peace, and security. United Nations Resident Coordinator in Nigeria, Edward Callon, gave the affirmation at the memorial of the 10th anniversary of the UN House bombing. Correspondent Adebola Brooklyn Sunday was there in our reports.
On Friday, 26 August 2011, a suicide bomber rammed a vehicle packed with explosives into the Abuja UN House, killing 23 people. 10 years after, the staff of the world's topmost organization, families of victims and survivors converged to pay respect to colleagues and other victims.
The wounds of this tragedy are deep, but the courage and faith and determination of the UN family in Nigeria to continue its mandate runs even deeper. Our acts of remembrance mean not only honoring those who have lost their lives in active service to this global menace, but also looking forward to better understand the common responsibility of all nations of the world to prevent future terrorist attacks and combat this menace that is threatening humanity today.
No greater demonstration of this than the fact that we are gathered at the side of that crime with the UN family and members, once again working safely in its renovated and even better structured building. On behalf of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I pledge the continuous support of the FCT administration to the United Nations agencies and humanitarian activities across the FCT.
At exactly 10:25 a.m. local time, a 1-minute silence was observed in honor of the victims, after which they laid wreaths at the Green Lawn. 10-year-old David Ilia Musa, who was at conception stage when the incident occurred, also joined in paying tributes to his late father. His mother, widow of the deceased, wants the security operatives to do more in the fight against terrorism in Nigeria.
We thank God for this side. What of those people that will not have help? How are they going to bring up their children? They remain on the street. They make the women to go out after other men. Is it good?
A big opening in my skull.
Chinedu Ume, one of the survivors, told me that though he sustained injuries and hospitalized for about 1 year, he is lucky to be alive.
I wish they are alive today to still have the testimonies and stories to tell, like me. I was lucky, but they were not. But I know God knows better than giving me the second chance.
And we are not going to be stopped by terrorists, neither can we be stopped by anybody in providing service to humanity. We are happy that the government of Nigeria believes in multilateralism, and they are indeed supporting multilateral efforts in this beautiful country of Nigeria.
The federal government has reconstructed the building, which is occupied by 17 UN agencies. The day is aimed at reminding the world that no matter how long ago an attack happened, victims continue to struggle with its legacy, and that survivors and victims all over the world need a chance to heal through justice and support.
A chance to heal indeed. Support for those left behind is the keyword. Thanks so much, Adebola. And that's the correspondent this week. Thanks a lot for watching. Join us again next week, same time on another edition. And a quick reminder that COVID-19 is still around us. Continue to abide by government's regulation and safety protocols. And more importantly, get vaccinated. Take responsibility and stay safe. We also invite you to join NTA to be a star. Be part of the campaign against rape and rapists. Bye for now.